Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm sure I'm not the only parent who thinks of their child also as being one of their greatest teachers. My 1.5-year-old Nalao is the most inspiring person I know. From the moment she wakes up, her bright eyes seem to say, "What can I do? What can I learn? What can I be?" She's absolutely absorbed in this new and exciting life of hers. And from the moment I place porridge in front of her in the morning, she inspects it carefully, smells it warily, proceeds to taste. She does the same thing with that plastic surface on the trampoline outside. She gets up carefully, jumps, a little bit cautiously at first, then a little bit more enthusiastically, just amazed at every successful landing. And if she tumbles, she giggles wildly. She stands up and just keeps going. And I absolutely love that. So, you see, that is to some degree how we all were at some point or another in our lives. We've all experienced the fascination of learning what we're capable of observing, comprehending, and doing. You know, remember climbing that big old tree out back? Maybe dodging that ball when you're playing amagus? Lugging 10 heavy bags from the car to the house for your mother? I know, I had the experience of hopelessly trying to stamp millet with my cousins in the village. Hopelessly, I repeat. Those days, we chose to move. We used to choose to be physically active. But something has seriously gone awry. Because physical inactivity is actually proving to be a problem for our continent now. Once upon a time, we were hunters and gatherers. Then we were herders and agriculturalists. Now we're heading towards knowledge-based and industrial. And for good reason. But the problem is that there's a spin-off that not all of us are aware of. In 2010, over 1/4 of the African population was reported to be physically inactive. And in Namibia, not much better. As a matter of fact, much worse. More than half of our population couldn't actually meet the basic guidelines, the basic requirements to be called physically active. And if you think about that, we're talking about over 1 million Namibians. That's not great. Physical activity, or physical inactivity, and unhealthy diet are 2 of the 4 main behavioral risk factors for non-communicable diseases, also known as NCDs. And guidelines indicate that just being physically active a mere 150 minutes a week can reduce our risk of common NCDs, such as ischemic heart disease, diabetes, cancers, and it also reduces our risk of things like stroke, hypertension, and depression. We also know that it's fundamental to energy balance and weight control. Now, weight control is a really important one because even in the absence of these other risk factors, so even if we're sufficiently active and we're eating well, if we are overweight or obese, it puts us already into another category, another risk. It is actually, on its own, a metabolic risk factor for NCDs. And in 2010, a World Health Organization report on NCD indicated that over 2.8 million people globally die as a result of overweight and obesity annually. 1/4 of the African population is already overweight, with women displaying double the prevalence of men. In Namibia, it's not better. It's worse again. Close to 1/3 of our population is already overweight, and close to 1/10 of our population already falls into the category for obesity. When we overlay these risk factors, the prognosis is not good. It's not good for the health of us as individuals. It's not good for the families who need us to be there at our best all the time. It's not good for our public health systems that are already overburdened by infectious diseases such as HIV, TB, malaria. Lastly, it's not good for our developing nations, where our most prized resource is our people. Current projections suggest that by 2020, the largest increases in NCD mortality around the globe are going to happen in Africa and other low to middle income countries. And this suggests one thing for me. I don't know about you, but it sounds like we as the developing world, we need to act now. We need to start moving more, and we need to start eating better. And let me tell you, I'm not talking about the brand of exercise that requires that you have to participate in fitness competitions. And it certainly shouldn't use those, unrealistic image-conscious ideals that we are seeing in mainstream media all the time. It certainly shouldn't require us to pay hefty sums of money for gym memberships. I mean, heck, most of us don't live in towns where those things even exist. But what I am saying is that we simply need to start moving our bodies more. Take a walk, play with the kids. I don't know, take the stairs at work, park 5 minutes away from the grocery store, climb a tree, make more love, for goodness sakes. Every little bit counts. And when I talk about a healthy diet, I don't mean the brand of food that feels faddish or unrelatable or inaccessible. What I do mean is that there's a way that you can eat what is locally available, hopefully locally sourced, and use it in a way that is nutritious and delicious. You even get extra points for using locally indigenous foods. When I was in my 20s, I worked in a local gym. And even though I seized the opportunity, to get caught up in this world of promoting movement and healthy lifestyle, I resented most every moment in that place. Because I felt like I was the only person there who thought this was a good idea. And not just for the people that could afford a $400 monthly membership. Move well, eat well, become part of or create a supportive community. See, we do have options. I mean, problem is that often they're costly. They're geographically limiting. Maybe they require time that none of us actually have. And gyms, personal training, nutritionists, biokineticist services, as great and fantastic and essential as they are, they simply are not accessible to the broad majority of us, and therefore lack the potential to create the shifts, the kind of behavioral shifts we need at a population level now. I remember thinking to myself, well, come hell or high water, I will find a way to make this realistic for the masses. See, I am aware that health behavior is fraught with complexities. There are considerations for our motivation, our available time, our available resources, our built environments, our feelings of safety and security, our national health agendas. How about our cultural and religious beliefs? Have you ever considered that that impacts on your decision-making around your health behaviors? It does. But all that said, surely we need to start somewhere. So what is my idea about how we can get Africans moving more and eating better? Well, how about we leverage our increasingly accessible and affordable internet and telecom service across the continent to create a web-based, population-level, physical activity and nutrition platform where otherwise sidelined individuals wouldn't be able to access these tools which are necessary to create these changes in their lives, which might protect their health. I mean, research shows that internet usage in Africa has penetrated 15.6% of the African population. The greatest usage we're seeing in Nigeria, Egypt, Morocco, Kenya, and South Africa. Namibia alone has a 12% penetration. We're talking about 200,000 Namibians who are accessing the internet on a regular basis. How about we create a supportive community where every person with a computer, a smartphone, a mobile device can go to every day to get exercise routines and nutrition support. I mean, how about motivating that community through fun and engaging challenges to help people meet their physical activity and nutrition needs? How about creating a repository of exercise and nutrition resources compiled by experts across the continent so that it can reach a far wider audience? How about making a call for local chefs and talented cooks to share their ideas about how we can use locally available and tasty foods in healthy ways? How about we make a call for event planners? Share your ideas. Where can we as Africans go this weekend as a family, as a group of friends that supports this healthy lifestyle? How about we produce exercise DVDs of local, well-known exercise experts and distribute them to schools, to workplaces where people don't have access to internet? How about we do something like send everyone a challenge via SMS to dance on the spot for 3 minutes and go grab a fruit? How about we partner with public entities such as ministries of health, education, agriculture, youth, and sport? Why don't we make sure that these messages are coming through in existing health programs and structures, school curricula, local agricultural projects, other programs that target the youth? How about we engage our local authorities on the interplay of our built environment and our health behaviors? How about we partner with progressive private companies to make sure that their wellness program is actually ensuring that this messaging is coming through? How about we partner with medical aids, both national and private? Make sure that this can be a value add that makes a difference. My point is simple. It is not a soft issue anymore. And we should not be making excuses. There are ways. A friend of mine the other day called me a physio-fascist. And I laughed heartily at that, because I'm not. At least I don't like to think of myself as one. Yes, I do want to take care of my body so it can take me the distance. But not just for narcissistic reasons or for personal gain. And that's what my 19-month-old professor has taught me. That when we choose to take care of ourselves in a way that may protect our health, we actually not only show ourselves a very deep and important self-respect, we also contribute to our developing families, our developing communities, our developing countries, our developing continents, and we effectively become strategic development partners to our world, our race, one simple biceps curl at a time. Thank you very much.